Hi, this is Eric Martin, news editor at Board Game Geek. I'm here today to look at, no, not Eclipse. That one's already been done. That's been covered a lot, you know. But this young Finnish designer has other releases as well, including Enigma. This is by Finnish company Competto. And it's got rules in Danish, Swedish, Norwegian, Finnish, and English, which is good because my Finnish is a little rough, but I know enough to say how to pronounce the designer's name. Tuko. Right? Okay. Inside the box, you'll have 30 punchboard sheets with which to fan yourself when you get all stressed from playing. You have rules in various languages. You have a small organizational game board, put all the pieces on, and then you have 120 dungeon tiles. Although it's pretty friendly dungeon. Let's look and see. Here are most of the components of Enigma. We have 4 stacks of 30 tiles. We have a starting tile, and we got some components off screen here to, keep the Enigma going here. What you're trying to do is create networks of tiles, okay, and score points. So when you get a tile, and I'll explain how in just a moment, you add that tile to an open network that already exists, and you can put an archaeologist, one of your 3 archaeologists, onto a room of a color that has not been claimed in that network. So no one's on red, I'll go into red. If someone else adds this tile later, they can go on blue, because blue has not been claimed. And eventually, things are gonna get closed off. Let's see, this guy goes here. There's only 3 colors of tiles. Once all of them have been claimed, well then, of course, no one else can claim those colors. When a network is closed, and there are no more openings on it, then players score points for their archaeologist on those tiles. So you look at green, there's 1, 2, 3 red. Ooh, green didn't improve his own network. Green gets 3 points. Black, 1, 2, 3, yellow. 3 yellow tiles, 3 points for black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points for white. White is in the lead. The score track, by the way, is behind all the tiles, which is somewhat annoying. It's a little hard to see, and of course, I can't see. There's a little mystery here. I'm gonna secretly move mine along when no one's looking. Oh yeah, I'm gonna win. All right, how do we get these tiles to begin with? Well, there are 4 tiles that are available each turn, and those tiles are the tiles on the top of the stacks. And each tile has a different puzzle that must be solved in order to claim that tile. So starting with whoever holds the purple start player marker, that person chooses a tile and takes all the pieces associated with it. So this tile has 6 stones with it. What is this puzzle? It's a balance puzzle. So there's a number of stones that's shown in the lower corner here, like this, usually 4 to 6. And what you have to do is put the stones on the board so that these sides match. Okay, so for example, here we've got 2 4s on this side, we got a 3 and a 5 on this side. They match. It wins. I get to put this tile into the puzzle or into the network. Okay. What are the other types of puzzles? Well, we have a network or a aqueduct puzzle, if you want to think of it that way, where you have 9 tiles and you use as many tiles as is shown on the board. So this uses all 9, this uses 6, and it tells you not to use this one, and this one. Okay, you then use the remaining tiles to create a network in which all the spaces are keeping water from flowing where they should not be flowing. Okay, there was an easy example. All right, so that's that type of puzzle. You also have Tangram Puzzles. Okay, these are the more familiar ones that people have probably always seen. You have the 7 Tangram pieces, and you assemble them. Well, this is a super easy one, right? Okay, assemble them in the shape. And that's the Tangram type puzzle. You have 3D puzzles. All right, Umongo here. And what you're trying to do in this case is build something so that you see only what's depicted. That's not going to work. Only what's depicted, that's exactly the same thing. Alright, so we need that. We need that. We could use that and that. Alright, so that when viewed from above, you see only what is shown on the tile. So here we go with this and this right here. And you have to do it, of course, with no holes inside the structure. Okay, so the first player is going to choose one of the tiles, take all the pieces. Okay, let me set these all back up here. If I choose a 3D puzzle, I take these. And then someone else chooses Tangram, takes those. Weight puzzle, The game's for 2 to 4 players. So everyone's going to have a different type of puzzle. Everyone immediately flips their pieces over at the same time and tries to solve them. How much time do you have? Well, it depends on how much time you or your fellow players give you. There is a sand timer, and at any time, someone can flip over the sand timer. Okay, whether you have solved your puzzle or not, you can flip over the sand timer. And then everyone has only until the end of the sand timer to solve their puzzle. Whoever completes their puzzle, adds them, their tile, complete their puzzle tile, adds that tile to the network in player order, starting from the start player. And then you pass the token and do another round. Do another round until someone hits the goal of 15 points or more. The game ends at that point. Whoever has the most points wins. If there's a tie, whoever has more archaeologists on the tiles breaks the tie. And if there's still a tie at that point, well, you know, usual thing. Everyone's a winner. A certain number of people are winner. And that's that. And there's a rundown of Enigma there from designer Tuco, which, you know, you got to practice saying that, otherwise you're going to sound foolish in these type of videos. Hopefully I'm saying that correct. If not, we'll take measures so that, you know, everything comes out fine in the video. So how's the game play? Well, it plays as you would expect from a network building, puzzle solving combination. If you are terrible at these puzzles, then you will probably not do too well. And some people, of course, are better at one type of puzzle than another. The three-dimensional ones seem to be a little harder. Tangrams, of course, people have played with a bunch, you know, in other formats over time, so they might be good with them. The balance puzzles draw a little more directly on math, or particular type of math skills, I should say. So some people prefer those or the others. What's interesting, though, is then you have the actual network building challenge, which initially doesn't seem like that much of a challenge, okay? You have 4 choices of tile each turn. Oh, I'm sorry. You have 4 choices of tile each turn if you were the first player. Otherwise, you may have 3 choices, or then you have 2 choices. And maybe you're don't have archaeologists on those colors, or you don't care about those colors, or you don't want to add this to your network because now you're going to have multiple openings on it. Or this one doesn't really have much scoring potential, but you know, this is your choices each turn. This is what you're going to have to do, and you have to build up your network. And more importantly, you really do have to watch what other people are doing, because if not, then you are going to lose. I've played twice. We had a 3-player game and a 4-player game. In a 3-player game, in the first part, one person claimed all 3 colors in a network because the other 2 of us, well, one guy was having a little rough time with things. That was not me. And I was not paying attention to what this guy was doing, and so he built up this network, and he kept adding and adding and adding, and then he scored it, and he got 13 points. And so 2 things. One, he realized he should have waited another turn, actually counted the points ahead of time, because he could have scored 15 all at once and won the game very quickly. Number 2, we realized that, of course, you should not let someone claim all the rooms in a network. Or, you know, you have to pay more attention to shutting other people down in addition to building yourself up. You have to horn in on other people, okay? So that if they build a network, ideally it's helping you as well. Or you can put your color in while closing them off and shutting down their points while getting yours. Right? It's all those things that you learn from Carcassonne that I should have been paying attention to anyway, and this spot was not. So that's how that worked out. He won that game, by the way, because of course he needed only 2 more points, and he got those pretty quickly. Played again with 4 people. There was a little more competition in terms of who was doing what, and the board was getting bigger. The game still did not last that long. It lasted shorter than I would have expected it to, and I don't know whether we were magically solving more puzzles than we should have, or just scoring really well, or not blocking well, or whatever the case was, but that's what we're doing. Again, 2 games, hard to draw much. conclusions from 2 games. I've seen some people ask are you going to memorize all the tiles you're going to go through? Well, there's 30 different tiles of each type, right? I mean, maybe you can memorize the solutions to 30 balance problems, and I can think of 1 or 2 people who can do that and would do that, all right, and 30 aqueduct problems. But usually those types of people who can memorize that are not going to have much trouble with these puzzle games anyway. They're going to crush you every single time, so you got to block them continuously. And that's it. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is from a Finnish company with rules in Danish, Norwegian, Swedish, Finnish, and English. It's not available yet outside the Nordic, Scandinavian region, as far as I know. Although I know there are efforts to try to market the game and have a new version of the game come out in the U.S. and possibly elsewhere. But you don't need rules. You don't need rules in your language, because of course you all know Finnish is a second language just as well as I do, and can proudly say things like "Tuko," you're awesome. The range of design is amazing. So that's it for now.